Well then, I've been wanting to talk about this guy for a while now. And it's about time. Hey this is Penguin Boy, and welcome to an episode of Gacha Critic. For this episode, I've got someone here who I want to share my views on, and he's also a guy you should be aware of before you do anything else, like being friends with him. I'm talking about Napstablook 0, a GachaTuber who stands at over 20,000 subscribers. Wow! Which is quite a lot for videos like this. And his content really consists of videos around his friends, OCs, and other horror media, and generally using another audio from a game, series, or movie as a base for the video, which is something we're gonna cover later. Now, this whole episode will be around his content in general, and give out some criticisms on what he can improve on. Even though I doubt he'll check by, maybe it'll give other people an idea on what they can do. And since we're coming for a channel, I'll be splitting it into 3 categories, starting with an overview of the channel, and then we'll go through his videos and see if I can understand the lore. There's also an intermission where we're gonna go through my takes on using audio clips in a video. And after that, we'll go through some of his other aspects about his behavior in videos, community posts, and such. Seems simple enough, right? And of course, there's timestamps if you're curious about a category. Oh, and to give a disclaimer in advance, I'll be censoring potential personal info for personal reasons, like real names. With that said, let's dive in. Unless my computer doesn't screw up. Like in the beginning, he's a GachaTuber who has over 20,000 subscribers so far, and his content is, well, something. If you did expect this guy to make Undertale content since it has Napstablook in the name and that he sort of relates to the enemy in Undertale, you'd be dead wrong. In some cases. From what you can see at first glance, his main sources of content is based on his friends, his OCs, horror media like Five Nights at Freddy's, Willy's Wonderland, the Banana Splits movie, Garden of Banban, Dark Deception, Poppy Playtime, Child's Play, as well as other sorts of media like Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, Super Mario Bros., Sonic the Hedgehog, Tom and Jerry, SpongeBob, Madagascar, and of course My Little Pony, to name a few. And his peak of his popularity is him recreating scenes and musicals based on horror media, as well as a My Little Pony video. Wow, that is a lot. Now, when I mentioned that he uses audio as a base for his videos, it doesn't really come as a surprise, since most of the time it's just his characters and friends just messing around with such audio. And sometimes he'll use audio clips for other purposes, which is something we'll discuss later. Though he did use some text sounds from Undertale so it doesn't feel too empty. And he'd also do a bit of voice acting.
But one day, it started raining, and I found out she was a sea pony. She lied to me and her evil stepfather attacked me.
But that's just it. His editing, on the other hand, is a little simple, but what makes it somewhat different is the characters' facial expressions. I mean, look at this expression. He's horrified at what he's witnessing, which is something I can get credit for. Using more expressive faces and creative uses for different pupils is a nice touch. It's kind of the stuff you see in cartoons. Other than that, nothing too out of the world with creativity, other than creative facial expressions. Now then, let's move on to the videos. Once you open up his page, the first video you'll see on his start page is his intro. And it's basically Zack Scott Games, and that's it. Could you imagine I always have an intro that goes like... Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Keep in mind that Blooky here made over 1,000 videos. So going through all of them would make the episode like, I don't know, 4 hours long just to give a quick review in each one. So I'm gonna go for videos that I think it's worth talking about. Like I said, his videos, if not all, uses an audio clip from a movie or series, and he'd not only recreate scenes using the original characters from said media, but he'd also throw in some of his friends and OCs into the mix. And this is where some people would get spoiled about a media that they really want to watch. Like with this one, NinjaTuber's Future Episode 2, My Diamond. And it's basically the Steven vs Jasper fight from Steven Universe Future. If anything, these episodes from NinjaTubers, it's just a goddamn audio clip from Steven Universe. And for Mary Prime, it's audio from Sonic Prime, along with others doing voice acting. And these are series he contributes to. Now let's try and understand the lore about him. And luckily, there is a playlist of all the videos that tells the story. But before we get to the main event, and quickly, let's take a look at this one. I'm guessing in this video, it's about his IRL character growing up, and with each year, his fascination with a kids' entertainment place changes. And most of them are fictional. And right here is a family tree, which... yeah, I'm gonna clear out some things for confusing minds. This is his actual family before the computer incident, and this is his family inside the world he made, with multiple wives and kids. These are probably some kids he adopted, and this is related to SMG4's God Box. Okay then. There's also a video that hints on how he got what's called Titan Bear powers, and it's from a fragment of Mr. Grizz's ooze that got transported into a portal and landed on top of his head as a baby. I think my Inkling avatar missed a spot. And everything you see here in this playlist is his real-life character going through all these fictional events based around his favorite horror games, I believe. And also a little bit about, My Little Pony. Alright, computer incident, let's go. Lightning strikes, he gets sucked in. His soul is now in a Chucky doll. His real body gets trapped in a crystal. Fluttershy finds him. He meets Pinkie Pie. He falls in love. He calls himself Blooky, and in a different video, meets the other ponies in town. And you're telling me that all of this happens to an OC that's supposed to represent him in real life? That's like one day, my computer starts acting weird, it opens a portal to a world, I get sucked in, I end up in the town, then I immediately meet Sayori from Doki Doki Literature Club, and I immediately fall in love with her. I doubt that'll happen. Serious Best Girl, by the way. On the other hand, you got videos like this.
Just stop! Just stop it!
And this. And then this.
Don't worry, I'll tell you.
No, this is not okay. It's time to stop. It's time to stop.
I classified this one as Gacha Heat. Alright, enough about that. What I do want to talk about now is how his videos are published. One of these problems is that he could add a bit more screenshots to a character, like talking or something, to give them a bit more emotion in them. He also adds in effects that's found in Gacha Club or any Gacha Club mods, and doesn't really add much more effects or sound effects during the editing phase. Though I don't mind people using just music in their videos to avoid making it empty, which is fine. But if you use audio clips for a video that explains some sort of lore, then this is where I have to call you unoriginal and lazy. The descriptions also doesn't really help either. Usually, this is where you will know a bit more about the video and all the things that was used to make the video possible. In other terms, credits. The only things he puts in the descriptions is either a little message, mention people so they can get a chance to watch the video they're in, or nothing at all. Not even crediting the audio and the music, where it's from and everything.
Hey yo, what the f***?
Because some viewers wants to know quickly what you used in the description so they don't have to constantly ask about it. Which leads me to my question. I want to know what music you used for the timeline video for But I'll let his older videos pass, since that during that time, he does put down where the audio comes from. He could have at least added that either in the description or the video itself today. Oh, and to end off this part, he also makes the same video with the same audio clip, but with different characters. Especially the wedding videos, which is just the same audio clip from Tom and Jerry meets Sherlock Holmes.
I'm so glad it worked out for Miss Red. She makes a lovely bride.
Yes.
You may kiss the bride.
Running out of ideas, mate? Okay, that was a lot to take in. Okay, ready to continue? Alright, let's move on. Now, the intermission will be short, so we can get back to talk more about Blooky. I just wanted to point out a few things when using an audio clip in your videos. These are commonly used in Gacha skits, which can be quite interesting to see how characters will play out their roles. That also fits the situation. This also applies to animation. It does the same thing. And this is where some other people would use this advantage to build up a lore of their own, which is not only unoriginal, but it also contains spoilers for a potential final battle in a movie or game. If anything, I would recommend using audio clips just for the memes. Alright? The memes, not the lore. That way I won't have to nag about unoriginal content. You can try and at least come up with a solid original story at least, and not rely on other media to help out. Again, if it's for the memes, I don't mind it. And that concludes the intermission, which was quite quick, you know? Now then, the last category. Let's go! As you can see, some of the videos he makes are pretty weird. And sure, I don't mind any weirdness, just if you have an obsession with it, then you should have controlled yourself. Because the more videos you make around, I don't know, an elephant's trunk or your balloon obsession, it'll be slightly more sexual. And if it's too sexualized, then you're gonna have a talk with the Gacha community, because they take no tolerance of that. Just play it safe the whole way when doing such videos, or in other words, keep it PG friendly. However, one thing I do want to point out is that some of the videos he makes signifies that his mental health isn't the best. And this is where I'm going to have to be a picky. Here's one called Apologizing Wimp.
Please, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Please, I beg. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I believe some of these videos is just him trying to gain sympathy from viewers. He'd go out of his way to waste more energy to make a video and voice act his OC breaking down, when you could just write a simple message that you're taking a mental break for a moment, either if it's a community post or a video with text on. This way, it lets people understand that you don't have the best of times. At least, that's what I would do along with other people. Or make something metaphorical, while it still has its themes of your current condition and such. Just be careful of how much energy you use and how you portray it, like simple editing, what metaphor you relate to, and use text to give a character or you a speech. Another thing he does in such videos is doing it in an exaggerated way. To put this apology video into perspective, he accidentally screwed up my friend FazzyToon's livestream, signaling that he is done with his friendship, although he said it to me that he's neutral to him. So for this one, I'll go over some points on why I don't take this too seriously.
I know you might be ignoring this, but I know I messed up. I did mess up, and it was an accident.
He constantly has this scared face on during the video, and his voice is no different either. It makes me believe that the moment he started to feel scared, he whips out his camera and starts recording his non-scripted apology video.
I get it. You have a reason to be disappointed in me, but I'm not giving you my OCs.
Dude, your friends does use your OCs in their videos, so if you're allowing them to do so, that applies to him too.
I don't even want you to report me or send me to jail or let me die. It's like you don't care. You never cared.
What sort of statement is that? I mean, if you have done some heinous things, you'd be in jail, but this situation? That's just an over-exaggeration.
I know we've been through rough times, and you have been through so much pain, just like your father abused you, and now you abuse me.
Okay, he does bring up some of Fazzy's bad memories with his family, but the thing is, Fazzy is probably very uncomfortable about you bringing it up on a public website. He also brings in religion into this with the sin of wrath since, well, he's religious. And to be fair, Fazzy has a good reason to be angry at you, so why bother confirming he has wrath unless he actually has anger issues? I think in my opinion, he's a pretty chill guy.
Not yourself. I don't know what to say, but please don't take down my channel. Please.
So basically, the apology video is 10% about the situation and 90% about Fazzy as a person. That, combined with not keeping his cool for 4 minutes and exaggerate things, this isn't a good apology video. As for the other apology videos, it does feel like he's not having a good time, but why bother making a video about it straight away? Posting that to YouTube can still be energy consuming. If I were you, I'd just cry first, and once I have enough energy, I'll just write something down without relying on attention-seeking words. Simplicity is key, you know? Oh, and speaking of FazzyToon, or Fazzy for that matter, he DM'd me about some of his experience with this guy on Discord. You can pause to read if you want. So one day, he put out a video request to do a video with audio by Tylon, who, if you don't know, he's a TikTok user who makes pretty funny skits where he does impressions of cartoon characters getting beat up by flip-flops. And Blooky took it a bit seriously. This led to an argument with Fazzy being angry and Blook trying to calm him down with a side of roleplay like text, which isn't the most useful thing to do during arguments. And this is also the time where he used Fazzy's real name, which I will not show you for private reasons. But this gives you an idea in what his behavior is in chats when stuff like this happens. The video I'm talking about is this one, where Fazzy's character beats Blooky's fictional kids with a flip-flop, though Blooky takes the fact that Fazzy wants them dead, which I guess he doesn't really understand the definition of content being for entertainment purposes. Like, Fazzy can use my characters for a Talon video, and I would still enjoy it. And also, Fazzy told me that this video in particular, He made it because not only did he feel depressed, but also having the feeling of ending himself. And something tells me that he's using a condition that could be true to him and use it as a way to dismiss any arguments and have his friends returned. But again, this video, he means it's for entertainment purposes only, not a death threat or something. These videos also fall in with his online relationships. He made multiple videos featuring these people, basically in his imagination, wants him dead. That's kind of ridiculous. So when a friend didn't feel comfortable around him and such, then this is where he makes these videos to see if he can get them back or gain sympathy from them. You could say he's desperate. But if I saw videos that are this, then I'm gonna have issues with you. You're using a game made for 9-year-olds just so you can do this suspicious scene to tell the lore about Pinky and Fluttershy being lesbians. Now, I don't mind some kinks, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone or it's done in a sexual manner, just to clarify. But Gacha Heat, I have no tolerance on that shit. Alright, one more thing. Most of the time when he's writing something down in titles, descriptions, comments, community posts, and subtitles, he always puts down 3 dots at the end, even when a character is expressing excitement. And now, to end this part, I have 2 things to say to him. 1, keep your cool and don't exaggerate. And 2, keep your inflatable plastic fetish away from me. Fazzy mentioned about Blook having a DeviantArt account, and I think I found him. Alright, let's do a quick category around his DeviantArt account. So, this is his DeviantArt account called Female Inflation Fan. And I can already tell this will be a nasty ride. Why? He makes inflation pictures out of his friends. Allow me to show you the horrors of this page. Ooh boy! I hope you were prepared for this. This is just sickening that he makes a lot of these pictures. There's even PNGs of the inflated people, and nude versions which I can't even show, but the fight makes it equally worse. He has a twisted mind on there, and I can tell it is him. The Gacha Club effects, the character designs, the facial expressions, his mentioned friends, and the 3 dots. It all adds up. And Fazzy mentioned he also craved fetishes like puppets, dolls, elephants, and the goddamn blueberry fetish from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So I'm not gonna show more of him, so you can give your eyes a wash. How should I end off this category? I'll let a meme speak for itself.
Inflation! You have the power of God at your fingertips, and you choose to watch inflation? What the hell is wrong with you?
And that's everything. I'm not gonna let you suffer more now, so you're safe. I did use plenty of energy on this episode, so I'll end it off in a calming manner. This was just me giving out criticisms on his behavior, videos, and whatnot. Now, some of his fans, and possibly him, will think it's harassment, but I'm simply giving out my reasons why I think he's not my cup of tea, and why whatever he's doing isn't really the best of choices. But if they decide to attack me, I'm not gonna fight back. Giving them attention is like feeding ducks with bread. They want more. But hopefully this will make people aware of what he's doing. And if this can be a learning experience, antagonizing someone or begging for things to stay the same isn't going to save your reputation. You have to be well-mannered and sincere with what you want to change, without having to use drastic words to describe a certain situation. Oh, and to keep your content in a good balance of what's acceptable and unacceptable, and listen to your audience if something needs to change. By the way, if you want to support FazzyToon's content, go check him out in the description. And with that, this concludes Gacha Critic for now. Thanks for watching. And while you're at it, please take care. See ya!
Know your fucking place, trash. Fucking robots. I don't give a fuck about no robots. They ain't got no soul.